Hello, this is Dave and welcome to Equity Story. Here I've got the chart of the S&P 500 and the reason I'm bringing this chart up is here at Equity Story we're often looking at clues, giving us ideas of, possibly directions where the market could go in the short term. And it's actually quite interesting because the S&P 500 has had sort of a chart movement that's happened about 4 or 5 times in the last sort of 15, 16 years. And last time was 2008, 2007 and 2000. We all know what happened after these times. And basically what it is, it's when a chart or a week of trading is that the high of the previous week is not as high as the present week, and the low of the previous week is not as low as the present week. So what it means is trading within that the range of the last week. And you think it'd be an occurrence that would happen quite a lot, but actually it's not. It's pretty rare. And again, it's happened twice recently. What does this mean? I think in the past it means that the market doesn't know which way to go. It's trading in a really sort of narrow range, and it's a little bit like an elastic band being pulled back. And I think when that band eventually snaps, the market could obviously break up very strongly to the downside, or even possibly even to the upside. Here at the moment, Equity Story, you look at the odds, and I think the odds arguably could be a little bit more towards the downside. Why? Because obviously we've got the Clinton Trump issue in the States. We've also got at the moment pretty sort of scary issues in Syria with Putin. We've got obviously Brexit possibly happening. Well, we've got Brexit that's on its way. We've got interest rates possibly going up in the States. We've got the earnings numbers that look pretty weak at the moment. If those earnings numbers are bad, it could really send the market down. So I think when you look at that and you look at these signals that we're getting on the S&P 500, the word is out there is caution. And that's how we've been trading it for the last sort of really month or so. And we're just going to carry on with basically that opinion of what we're doing at the moment. And I think when we get a better idea which way the markets are going, then we're going to see obviously a lot more stocks, a lot more ideas, as you normally get out of Equity Story coming out there. So bear with us. We just got to just be cautious at the moment, and I think when we see some direction, then we know which way we can latch on to the trend. Just obviously having a quick look at the market, and I think also recently what you've seen is a bit of a shift. Some of what I think it's a sign the market's getting nervous is a lot of the stories that have been running, really strongly on growth are starting to get sold back a bit. And again, I think we did it really well to sell a lot of these sort of 3-year growth stories at the right time. And I think what you're doing is seeing the market moving into sort of certainly the resource sector, which they believe sort of fairly what they believe is an oversold sector, and looking for some decent value. And certainly again giving you some sort of stock ideas, which is something that we could look at putting on in the next few days. Something like Monadelphous is certainly looking starting to look pretty attractive. Certainly a really good price movement, certainly in the sector that is having a little bit of movement at the moment. As is obviously Wolseley Parsons, looking pretty good, and obviously BHP, which we've had a bullish stock on the ICE trending blog for a while now, and you can see although today was down, it holding above that sort of 10-day moving average. So I think this is certainly for me the sector where there is movement in the market, and I think this is certainly the sector. If we are going to be putting on some stocks to have a go at in the next week, it's certainly going to be in this sort of sector. Just having a quick look at the 3-year growth stories and some of the ones we're still holding. Again, I think good to see Blackmores having a pretty decent day today. This is a 3-year growth story. I think around these sort of levels, I think it's absolutely to get a growth story, giving this sort of dividend at this sort of P is I think Blackmores is really sort of exciting buying around here, and I think the way the charts are moving here, we've got maybe one more week. I think it could be a little bit down. I think then after that it should at least go back and trend up to that sort of 142 level where initially we bought it. But again, we're full of confidence with this stock, and I think it looks very, very good. Just like to say also BWX. Now we have sold this one because we are obviously expecting the pullback, but certainly if this pullback doesn't happen, BWX is actually looking good on the charts at the moment, and certainly could have a nice could be one that would definitely get back into pretty quickly if we've got some definite feeling that the market's going to be alright. We put the trending stocks at the moment, we put them on hold. We're not trending as many as we normally do because we're nervous of the markets. The ones we're trending, generally speaking, are not doing particularly well. It's pretty. It's not the norm for equity story. I think we've got about 95% success record on trending. But the reason we do that is that the stocks that we trend are always fundamentally really, really good stories. So we know if we trend things that are really good, if the market does have a little bit of a shift in sentiment going towards other sectors, well, we know that shift will turn, and we know our sort of our trending stocks eventually will do pretty well for us. I just before we go tonight, I'd like to do two things. First of all, I'd like to show you Buddy. I think had some really good price movement today, and certainly looks like the story's getting back on. The stock's getting some momentum back, and I think if we can have another, possibly I'd like to see it go up to about 0.12. I think if it can do that, then certainly it can get trading back in this mid-range about 0.15. Again, Buddy's a really exciting story, and certainly if you're not familiar with it, go on the website, read the report, and or go on the ASX and read up about the Internet of Things, because I think this has got fantastic potential over the next 3 to 4 years. Before we go tonight, I thought I'd leave you something a little bit more light. It's been a pretty tough day again on the markets, and from Equity Story, enjoy this video and have an excellent night. I look forward to doing the report tomorrow.
I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's a truth, and I owe it all to you.
'Cause I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you.
I've been waiting for so long, now I finally found someone to stand by me.
We saw the writing on the wall as we felt this magical fantasy.
Now with passion in our eyes, there's no way we could disguise it secretly. So we take each other's hand, 'cause we seem to understand the urgency.
I think he left it from you.
Just be